What if I told you one sentence could open the gates of wealth instantly? Not tomorrow, not in some distant season, but now. One sentence, spoken with faith, becomes the divine key that unlocks what has been waiting for you all along. Picture it, a golden key pressed into your hand. You feel its weight, you sense its purpose. It is not ordinary metal, it is forged from faith, from vibration, from the eternal word that has ruled since the beginning. You place it in the lock of your financial destiny. With one turn, the vault opens. Every day I share words that awaken the soul and activate abundance. Subscribe, and let these teachings remind you of who you really are. We have been taught to believe money comes through effort alone, through grinding, through struggle, through endless delay. But Florence Scovel Shinn revealed a truth too powerful to be hidden. She taught that words spoken in alignment with divine law hold the same force that shaped the heavens. The tongue is not small. It is the rudder that steers the entire ship of your life. Imagine a sunrise breaking through a long night. For years you have wandered in shadows, bills piled high, doors closed, answers delayed. But the moment this one sentence is spoken with conviction, it is like the first ray of dawn splitting the horizon. Darkness flees, clarity floods in, the path is revealed. This is not empty talk. This is law. The spoken word is law. Divine law hears and responds. Just as sure as gravity pulls the stone to the ground, you cannot see gravity, but you trust its pull. You cannot see the response of heaven, but once you learn the sentence, you will trust its movement. Florence called it the power of the word. She said that what you decree, your world obeys. And when that decree is wrapped in faith, the invisible becomes visible. The unseen becomes seen. The impossible becomes ordinary. Do you feel it? The anticipation rising in your chest. That small whisper saying, could it really be this simple? Yes, it can. For simplicity is God's signature. Truth is never complicated. It is only hidden until the soul is ready. You are not here by accident. You did not stumble onto this message by chance. Something in your spirit called you here. Something in your heart prayed for this exact revelation. And the answer is now arriving. Think of a dam holding back a mighty river. Behind it, waters are restless, waiting, pressing with unstoppable force. Your wealth is like that river, pressing, waiting, longing for release. And the one sentence is the command that cracks the wall. The flood pours forth, opportunities, ideas, favor, provision, all rushing toward you. Close your eyes for a moment. See yourself standing at the gate of destiny. Before you stands a heavy door, carved with ancient markings. You know what lies beyond it is yours, yet until now, you have lacked the key. But today, heaven whispers, the key has been placed in your hand. This is not mere motivation. This is initiation. A crossing over from fear into faith, from waiting into receiving, from hoping into knowing. The enemy of your soul would rather you remain silent, would rather you keep repeating the words of lack and defeat, for silence keeps the gate locked. Negative speech keeps the chains in place, but the moment your tongue aligns with divine law, the prison door swings open. Your mouth is the sacred instrument, your words are the divine orchestra, and when played in harmony with truth, they summon resources, ideas, and people as if conducted by the unseen hand of heaven. So let me ask again, what if one sentence could shift your entire financial reality? What if one command spoken with faith could rearrange the very fabric of your life? This is not theory, this is not philosophy, this is law, the same law that has lifted souls out of despair, the same law that has brought opportunity where none seemed to exist, the same law that has carried the faithful from scarcity to abundance. You may feel the trembling in your heart even now. That is your spirit recognizing the truth. That is your inner compass pointing home. The gate is before you, the key is in your hand, and the lock is ready to turn. In this journey, I will show you how. We will walk together through the unveiling of this sentence. You will not simply hear it, you will feel it, you will speak it, and once spoken, it will move the universe in your favor. Do not resist. Resistance is the only barrier. Non-resistance is the open hand that receives. When you release your doubts, your fears, your disbelief, you step into the divine flow where miracles become natural. Remember this, money is not your master, it is your servant. Wealth is not your pursuit, it is your inheritance, but it waits for the command, and the command is spoken through the word. So hear me, this video is not just content, it is not entertainment, it is a sacred initiation, a holy encounter with the divine law that governs supply. You are stepping into a chamber of truth, And, in this chamber, one sentence awaits you. It will not only change how you see money, it will change how money sees you. By the end of this journey, you will carry it on your tongue like a torch in the night. You will speak it into your mornings. You will declare it over your wallet, your bank account, your business, your future, and money will respond. Not slowly, not reluctantly, but instantly, because divine law does not delay when faith is present. The law acts now. The word performs now. The key opens now. Take a breath. Feel the shift already beginning in your soul. Something ancient is stirring. Something eternal is rising. One sentence, one divine decree, one key to unlock the gates of instant financial breakthrough. And now, the journey begins. Money is not chaotic. It is not random. It is not cruel or unjust. It is governed. It is moved by law. And the law is not written in bank ledgers or economic charts. The law is written in the invisible fabric of spirit. The law lives in the vibration of your words. Florence Scovel Shinn taught what few have ever dared to teach, that your speech is not small, your declarations are not whispers lost in the air. They are commands. They are instruments that summon the movement of unseen substance. They are the switch that opens the vault of supply. This is the law of substitution. It declares that whatever thought or word you speak with faith will replace the old pattern that kept you bound. Fear cannot hold its place when speech enters. Scarcity cannot keep its grip when you call abundance by name. Every sentence you declare in truth substitutes lack with provision. Every phrase you dare to speak in faith drives away the shadow of worry. Money does not resist faith. Money does not resist command. Money resists fear. Listen closely to that rhythm. It is the rhythm of spiritual law. It is the rhythm of cause and effect. It is the rhythm that explains why some remain trapped in struggle, while others rise into overflow. Most people beg for money. They plead, they chase, they worry. They live in secret panic while they repeat prayers of despair. And yet money flees from desperation. It slips through the fingers of those who hold too tightly. It escapes the grasp of those who cling with trembling fists. But money is not cruel. It is obedient. It responds to a higher command. It bends to the one who knows their words carry authority. Imagine money as a river. It does not argue with the one who shapes its banks. It does not resist the one who carves channels with steady hands. It flows where it is directed. It moves when it is given a path, but block it with fear and the river clogs. Speak words of worry and the water stagnates. Command in faith and the river runs again. Your words are the banks of that river. Your sentences are the channels. What you speak today shapes the direction of tomorrow's flow. Money does not resist faith. Money does not resist command. Money resists fear. Do you feel the difference in those words? Do you sense the shift when faith speaks compared to when fear groans? When you say, I never have enough, you are damming the river. When you say, it is hard for me to earn, you are throwing stones in the channel. When you say, cannot afford this life, you are closing the gate. But when you declare, money moves freely to me now, you carve open a passage. When you affirm, I am supplied by divine source, you widen the riverbed. When you speak, wealth answers when I call, you let the water rush again. This is not superstition. This is law. The same way gravity pulls every object downward, your words pull money into alignment. The same way a seed always produces after its kind, your spoken declarations always return with their kind. Poverty words reap poverty. Prosperity words reap prosperity. The soil is listening, the spirit is listening, and money itself listens. Money does not resist faith. Money does not resist command. Money resists fear. So I ask you now to reflect. What have you been commanding without knowing? What has your tongue been planting in the soil of your life? What currents has your speech carved into the river of your days? Take a moment to journal this question. What words am I speaking daily about money? Do not rush past it. Do not brush it off. Write the words you say in secret. Write the phrases you repeat in silence. See them clearly on paper, for they have been the architects of your present condition. If your daily words are filled with fear, you now know why the river has slowed. If your daily words are laced with desperation, you now know why doors feel closed. But if you choose today to substitute fear with faith, to replace despair with declaration, the entire current of your life can shift. This is the great invitation of spirit. It is not to beg, it is not to chase, it is not to plead, it is to stand. As a commander of divine supply, money is not your master, money is your servant. It responds to the sentence you declare when you speak. Money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways. The law moves to fulfill it. When you affirm, I am always abundantly supplied, the law rearranges to prove it true. When you declare, wealth is my divine inheritance, and I claim it now, the gates open. The tongue is not powerless. It is the key. It is the lever. It is the sacred rod that parts the waters. So, hear this, and let it be engraved in your heart. Money does not resist faith. Money does not resist command. Money resists fear. Choose today which law you will follow. Choose today which current you will open. Choose today whether your words will be the walls of a prison or the gates of your promised land. Money is not waiting to be earned. It is waiting to be commanded. Money is not withholding itself. It is waiting for faith-filled speech. Money is not your ruler. It is your obedient servant. Stand in that truth. Speak from that truth, and watch the river rise again. Money is not my master. Money obeys the sentence, I declare. What words rise in your mind when you see a bill arrive or when money feels tight? Most people whisper to themselves in secret defeat. I can't afford this. I never have enough. It always runs out before I can breathe. These words may seem harmless, but they are not whispers. They are invisible chains. Chains forged not by banks or governments, but by the tongue itself. Florence Scovel Shinn revealed a truth that stirs the soul. The tongue is a sword. It builds or it destroys. It cuts a path into wealth or into want. When you speak lack, you carve scarcity into the walls of your life. When you speak command, you inscribe abundance into the very fabric of your destiny. The mouth is not just flesh and bone. The mouth is a throne. Upon this throne sits a ruler. If fear is enthroned, then poverty rules the kingdom. If faith takes the seat, then wealth flows as a river. Every word you release is a decree. Every phrase is a royal order. You are not a beggar pleading for scraps. You are a sovereign commanding your realm. Think about it. Each time you say, I can't, you hand the scepter to fear. Each time you say, I lack, you place the crown upon poverty's head. But each time you dare to declare, I receive, I command, I am provided for, you enthroned faith. You crowned abundance. You awakened divine supply. There is a struggle inside you. The struggle is not between money and you. The struggle is between your fear and your command. Fear waits like a shadow, ready to slip into your speech. It tells you to shrink, to hide, to apologize for wanting more. But command rises like fire. It tells you to stand, to claim, to know that God's wealth flows without limit. Invisible dialogues shape destinies. A woman once told me her life had been marked by words of lack. Every day, she said, I never have enough. It became her identity. Bills piled high. Opportunities seemed to vanish. But then she was introduced to the law of the spoken word. One evening, she stood before a mirror, trembling but determined. She declared, I release fear. I enthrone faith. Money responds to my divine authority. At first, the words felt strange. But as she repeated them, she noticed her posture shift. Her shoulders lifted, her eyes glowed. Within weeks, unexpected income arrived. A long-delayed debt was paid to her. A door opened in her career. She realized it was never the world withholding from her. It was her tongue that had kept the vault locked. Words are not just sounds. Words are spirit. Words are substance. When spoken with conviction, they command matter itself. The law is unbending. You cannot plant seeds of lack and harvest wealth. You cannot water the soil with fear and expect faith to bloom. The harvest matches the word. The soil obeys the decree. Say this with me now. I release fear. I enthrone faith. Money responds to my divine authority. Do not whisper it as if begging. Speak it as one who knows. Let the throne of your mouth be claimed by the sovereign of faith. Close your eyes for a moment and see this. See the shackles of I can't falling from your wrists. See the chains of never enough crumbling to dust. See yourself step from the dark cave of fear into the golden sunlight of divine supply. Hear the sound of abundance rushing like a river that was dammed for years but has now broken free. Your words have always been the gatekeepers. They either sealed the door shut or flung it wide open. The law of substitution reveals this secret. You cannot fight fear directly. You replace it. You substitute it with faith-filled command. Instead of saying, I cannot afford, declare, I am divinely supplied. Instead of saying, it never works out for me, command, everything is working together for my good. Instead of saying, it is too late, proclaim, divine timing places me exactly where I need to be. There is no neutrality here. Every word counts. Every sentence builds or breaks. Every phrase is a soldier fighting for faith or for fear. The war is not waged in banks, jobs, or markets. The war is waged on the throne of the mouth. Hear this clearly. Poverty is not an outer enemy, it is an inner decree. Wealth is not only an outer condition, it is an inner command. When the command shifts, the condition shifts. When the throne changes rulers, the kingdom changes order. Some of you watching this feel the weight of years of negative self-talk. You have spoken curses over yourself without realizing it. You have repeated the chants of lack until they became your identity. But today, this moment, the decree can change. The tongue that bound you is the same tongue that can free you. The throne that hosted fear can now enthrone faith. The command that enslaved can now liberate. Say it once more with me. I release fear. I enthrone faith. Money responds to my divine authority. Let the words echo through your being. Feel them burn like fire cleansing the old patterns. Feel them rise like a song breaking chains. The truth is this. The mouth is a throne, and the king or queen that sits upon it decides the fate of your wealth. Fear will always try to sit there, whispering doubt, rehearsing lack, reminding you of past losses, but you are not required to let fear reign. You can dethrone it. You can enthrone faith with a single command. The law of non-resistance tells us not to fight the fear but to redirect it. When a thought of lack comes, do not wrestle with it. Simply speak over it, replace it, command over it, as a conductor lifts a baton to direct a divine orchestra. So you lift your words to direct the symphony of your life. Remember this, your tongue is the compass of your soul. It points the direction of your destiny. If it points toward fear, you walk into famine. If it points toward faith, you walk into flourishing. The compass obeys the magnetic field of your inner speech. Align it with truth, align it with abundance, align it with divine law. The battle you face is real, but it is not outside of you. It is not against your boss, your bills, or your circumstances. The battle is between your tongue and your thoughts, between fear that begs and faith that commands. Choose who will sit upon the throne. Choose who will rule your kingdom. Choose now, and let your words begin to build the wealth you were born to carry. There comes a moment in every spiritual journey when waiting must end and speaking must begin. The universe does not respond to silence, it responds to command. For centuries, mystics, prophets, and metaphysical teachers have carried one hidden key, a single decree, a sentence so alive with authority that it pierces through resistance, summons wealth from the unseen, and sets the divine orchestra of provision into motion. That sentence is not casual, it is not hopeful, it is not a wish whispered in uncertainty. It is the voice of the soul taking its throne, speaking as one with God, and declaring the truth that already belongs to you. This is the sentence of breakthrough. Listen closely. Let it reverberate inside you like the sounding of a sacred bell. I now speak the word of supply. All that is mine by divine right flows to me now, instantly, in perfect ways. Say it once within your heart. Feel how the air changes. Say it again aloud, and notice how your body begins to straighten, as if your spirit recognizes its true posture. Say it a third time, and realize the universe has already received its instruction. Now let us break this sentence open, word by word, so you can see its living power. I now speak the word. These 5 words carry the essence of authority. To speak the word is not to hope. It is not to beg. It is to declare from the inner throne of your being. Florence Scovel Shinn often said that the word you speak is your wand. With it, you direct the invisible forces of creation. Speaking the word means standing in your divine sonship, knowing that heaven backs every syllable uttered in faith of supply. This is no ordinary supply. This is not scraps or crumbs. This is divine wealth, flowing from the eternal storehouse of God. Supply is the rain after a long drought. Supply is the river that does not run dry. Supply is the invisible hand placing provision exactly where you need it, exactly when you need it. When you speak of supply, you call upon the abundance that already exists in spiritual reality, waiting to manifest in material form. All that is mine by divine right. What is divine right? It is the inheritance written into your very soul. It is not stolen, it is not borrowed, it does not belong to another. It is your portion, crafted by the divine architect before you ever arrived in this world. To claim your divine right is to remember who you are. A child of God does not need to plead for bread. A child of God calls forth what has always belonged to them. Flows to me now. This is speed. This is immediacy. Wealth does not trickle. It flows. It does not wait for conditions to line up. It responds to the authority of the spoken word. When you say now, you command the invisible to become visible. You shift from delay to demonstration. You enter the river instead of standing on its bank. In perfect ways, this is divine timing, harmony, and protection. Wealth that arrives before you are ready can destroy. Wealth that arrives in wrong ways can vanish. But wealth that arrives in perfect ways is guided by divine orchestration. It blesses you without burden. It multiplies without sorrow. It comes as rain upon the fields, nourishing everything it touches without force, without strain, without error. This is the full weight of the sentence of breakthrough. It is not poetry, it is law. Now I want you to repeat it again, with me, but this time, breathe deeply. Close your eyes if you can. See golden rivers of light flowing into your home, into your wallet, into your hands. See envelopes arriving with unexpected checks. See your phone lighting up with good news. See the faces of your loved ones filled with relief and joy. Feel the heaviness of lack dissolving as divine supply rushes in. Say it with me. With power, I now speak the word of supply. All that is mine by divine right flows to me now, instantly, in perfect ways, again, stronger. I now speak the word of supply. All that is mine by divine right flows to me now, instantly, in perfect ways, one final time. With every ounce of faith I now speak the word of supply. All that is mine by divine right flows to me now, instantly, in perfect ways. Do you feel that? That vibration is not imagination. That is the sound of the spiritual gate opening. That is the invisible law setting things in motion. Words spoken with authority never return empty. They travel into the invisible substance of the universe and shape it into visible form. This is why you cannot afford careless speech. Every word plants a seed. Some plant weeds, some plant wheat. Today, you have planted wheat, and the harvest cannot fail. Picture this. Rain falling on dry ground, soaking into thirsty soil. That is what your decree just did. It fell upon the soil of the unseen, and now the field of your life will bloom. You may not see the sprout yet, but beneath the surface, life is already stirring. The sentence of breakthrough is not meant to be spoken once. It is meant to be spoken until it becomes your inner music. Let it rise in you when you wake. Let it steady you when bills arrive. Let it carry you when fear whispers. Every repetition strengthens the current. Every repetition deepens the channel. Say it when you walk. Say it when you breathe. Say it until the vibration of lack no longer exists in your system, and all that remains is the vibration of divine wealth. This is your decree, your key, your instrument of command. When you speak it, you step into the river of divine supply. You stop asking, stop waiting, stop doubting. You begin receiving. And as we move forward, remember this. The sentence of breakthrough is not only about money. It is about alignment. It is about remembering your divine authority. It is about training your tongue to speak from faith instead of fear, from truth instead of illusion, from inheritance instead of poverty. So hold it close, speak it daily, guard it as a treasure, and prepare yourself, because what you have just set in motion will not delay. The breakthrough you once chased is already chasing you. Breakthrough does not live in the future. It does not live in the distance. It lives in the instant. The only separation between where you are and where you long to be is alignment. When your inner state matches the word you speak, creation does not hesitate, it obeys. This is the mystery. The law of non-resistance unveils. Resistance is the thief of miracles. Every doubt you hold, every fear you cling to, every attempt to control the outcome with anxious hands, pushes the blessing further away. But surrender opens the gates. Release makes room for arrival. Non-resistance is not weakness, it is trust. It is the quiet power that says, I no longer fight the flow, I join it. Think of how many times impatience has stolen your harvest. You declared the word, but then rushed into worry. You planted the seed, but then dug it up with disbelief. Manifestation is delicate. It cannot grow in soil disturbed by fear. Instant results come only when you allow the seed to remain planted and trust the unseen gardener. Imagine divine wealth as a train set on an exact timetable. It is never late. It is never early. It moves according to perfect order. If you are at the station, calm, ready, and expectant, you will board with ease. But if you are running in circles, panicked and doubtful, you will miss the moment though the train was waiting all along. Faith is standing on the platform with steady breath, suitcase in hand, heart prepared. The inner struggle is real. You feel the pull of desperation. The bills, the deadlines, the pressure of time whispered that you must force, push, and make something happen. But forcing collapses the structure of manifestation. Fear bends what was straight. Worry delays what was certain. The law is precise. Your results mirror your state. The moment you surrender, the moment you stop clenching, supply flows like water released from a dam. To shift into this alignment, you must train the soul daily. Let us begin with visualization. Close your eyes and see it already done. Picture envelopes arriving with unexpected checks. See your name written clearly. Feel the weight of abundance in your hands. See doors opening, contracts signed, bank notifications glowing with increase. Do not beg for it. Do not hope for it. Witness it as already yours. Then take pen to paper. Journal the decree daily. Write, I now speak the word of supply. All that is mine by divine right flows to me now, instantly, in perfect ways. Let the ink carve it into your subconscious. Writing is a sacred act. It impresses the unseen with clarity. It rewires the inner dialogue that once doubted and makes faith habitual. Now stand before the mirror. Speak the word with authority. Look into your own eyes and declare it as if you were God speaking to creation. Do not whisper it. Do not mumble it. Speak with the conviction of one who knows. Feel the vibration of your own voice reshaping reality. When you say now, mean it. When you say flows, imagine the river breaking through every barrier. When you say perfect ways, trust that heaven is arranging details beyond your sight. This is not performance. This is communion. This is alignment. The mirror becomes a silent witness. Your reflection becomes your covenant partner. Every spoken word imprints deeper, telling your subconscious, this is the truth, this is the law, this is my reality. Notice the rhythm of energy. At first, you may feel a surge, a powerful rising, like fire igniting within. Let that energy flow. Speak boldly, claim without hesitation. Then, let it settle into assurance. Calm yourself into certainty. Wealth does not come because you shouted. It comes because you believed. Power rises in declaration, but results are sealed in quiet trust. You must learn to live between fire and stillness. Declare with flame, rest with peace. This rhythm unlocks the instant shift. Energy awakens, faith anchors. Together, they call supply from the invisible into the visible. And here is the sacred paradox. The less you chase, the faster it comes. Non-resistance is not passivity. It is magnetic readiness. The universe rushes to meet the one who is not chasing, but standing still in faith. Say to yourself in moments of fear, I release the struggle. I join the flow. What is mine cannot be withheld. Whisper it when anxiety grips. Declare it when doubt arises. Let these words break the cycle of resistance before it can build. Now pause, breathe, place your hand on your chest. Feel your heart beat steady. Say quietly but with authority, the moment I believe. Money obeys instantly, not tomorrow, now. Let that truth echo through you. Feel the shift. This is not theory, this is law. Your mind may still ask, but how, but when? The answer is simple. Divine timing already holds the how. Divine orchestration already carries the when. Your task is not to figure it out. Your task is to align, to speak, to believe. Supply has ears. It responds to faith alone. The moment you release resistance, you will feel it, a subtle inner click, like a lock opening. That is the shift. That is the signal. And when the inner door opens, the outer world has no choice but to follow. The instant you believe without wavering, the instant you speak without contradiction, reality bends, money moves, opportunities appear, resources flow. The invisible bows to the authority of your spoken word. Do not wait for someday. Do not push it into the future. Claim it now. Live as if the breakthrough already stands beside you, because the truth is, it does, and the only key needed is your alignment. So stand ready, speak boldly, rest deeply. For the moment you believe, heaven answers. The moment you align, earth obeys, and the law is unshakable. The supply is here, the time is now. Wealth does not come as a visitor to glance at your life and then leave. Wealth is a frequency, a current, a divine stream that once entered must be honored, nurtured, and sustained. You do not simply unlock prosperity for a moment. You live in it. You remain tuned to it, as if your soul itself has chosen a station and refuses to drift back into static. This is the law of consistency. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that what is repeated becomes impressed. What is impressed becomes expressed. It is not enough to speak a word once. You must live with it until it becomes flesh in your reality. The tongue plants seeds, but repetition waters them, until the harvest cannot be denied. Imagine your wealth as music playing from a divine orchestra. If you step into the hall for a moment, you may hear a few notes, but then you leave and the sound fades. Yet when you remain, when you sit and let the music pour through you, every instrument, every harmony, reshapes your entire being. This is what it means to live in the new frequency of wealth. Not to touch it briefly, but to inhabit it fully. Your past pattern was inconsistency. You spoke abundance one day, and the next day you cursed your lack. You visualized for a moment, and then you scrolled through fear and comparison until your inner channel was full of noise. But today, a shift is commanded. The gate of destiny is open, and you are invited to dwell in the vibration that multiplies everything you touch. Consistency is the soul's compass. It keeps you walking straight even when outer winds try to sway you. It is not intensity that transforms, it is rhythm. The same way the ocean shapes stone, not by one great wave but by steady repetition, so too does your wealth become permanent when your practice becomes rhythm, not effort. So here is your sacred rhythm. In the morning, before the noise of the world touches you, stand before your mirror, look yourself in the eyes as if you are seeing the divine spark that has never left you. Speak the sacred sentence 7 times with conviction. 7 is the number of completion, of divine order. Each repetition is a hammer striking the same point until the wall of limitation cracks open. Say it as though heaven itself is listening, because it is. Say it as though the invisible treasury is leaning forward, because it is. In the afternoon, take 5 minutes to close your eyes, not to struggle, not to force, but to visualize. See yourself holding the check. See the deposit slip. See your account rising with the digits of abundance, not as hope, but as reality. Feel the relief, the joy, the quiet certainty. Do not chase the image, rest in it, like tuning a radio. Keep adjusting until you hear the clear sound of wealth. Stay on that frequency, for if you drift, static will return. In the evening, let gratitude seal the day. Take a journal and write 3 sentences that affirm your wealth. Not begging, not pleading, but claiming. I live in wealth's frequency. My words create worlds of abundance. Every moment multiplies my prosperity. Let gratitude be the ink that seals the invisible contract you made that morning. This is not routine. This is ritual. It is you proving to the universe that you are trustworthy with the treasures you have asked for. Some will say, but I repeated it for days and nothing changed. That is the voice of impatience trying to pull you off the frequency. Hear me well. The visible may delay, but the invisible has already obeyed. Every word you speak, every picture you hold, is already alive in the unseen. The farmer does not plant today and demand a harvest tomorrow. He waters, he trusts, he persists. So too must you. Consistency is your faith in motion. The enemy of wealth is not poverty. It is doubt. Doubt interrupts the rhythm. Doubt and the radio. Doubt pulls you out of the orchestra just when the symphony was about to reach its crescendo. But consistency keeps you seated until the music plays through you. It teaches your subconscious that this is not a dream, it is home. Now picture this. You are walking through an open golden gate. The hinges creak as though they have been waiting for you. Beyond the gate lies a field heavy with harvest. The air itself smells of ripened fruit and multiplied grain. Every step you take is cushioned by abundance beneath your feet. You do not hurry, you do not beg. You walk with the calm authority of one who belongs, because you do. This is your inheritance, not your accident. You are not asking wealth to visit. You are commanding it to dwell, and it will dwell where it is honored daily, where words are repeated with conviction, where visions are sustained with faith, where gratitude builds a fortress around belief. Do not measure by the clock. Do not measure by the calendar. Measure only by your consistency, for wealth does not flow to the frantic. It flows to the faithful. And the faithful are those who repeat, who persist, who stay tuned even when the static tempts them to walk away. So let this rhythm be your holy practice. Morning, declaration. Afternoon, visualization. Evening, gratitude. 3 anchors in one day. 3 points of alignment that no fear can shake. This is how you remain in the frequency until wealth is not just a visitor, but your permanent dwelling place. And when you are tempted to wonder if it is working, remind yourself with this affirmation. I am already living in wealth's frequency. And the evidence will catch up, for the unseen is faster than the seen. The law of consistency is not slow, it is sure, and as surely as the sun rises, so does the manifestation of what you repeat in faith. Stay with the rhythm until rhythm becomes reality. Stay with the frequency until it becomes your only station. Stay with the law until the law rewards you, because wealth is not earned by force, it is secured by alignment, it is multiplied by consistency, and as you breathe this truth, the next shift is ready to be revealed, for consistency does not just hold your breakthrough, it expands it, it multiplies it, and it prepares you for the greater gates that now stand before you. The journey we have walked together is not just a lesson, it is a rebirth. You entered this teaching perhaps with questions, with doubts, with the quiet ache of waiting for a breakthrough, and now, you stand at the threshold of a new reality. A single sentence has been given to you, not as a casual phrase, but as a divine key. The sentence is not merely words upon your lips, it is the living vibration that unlocks the treasury of heaven. Pause here, let your soul remember, the sentence is the key, the law is the foundation, the shift is the power. You have seen how invisible laws govern the visible world, you have felt how the mind surrenders when it is given a clear command, you have witnessed how fear loses its grip the moment faith speaks with authority. This is no ordinary teaching, this is an initiation. Every initiation carries a sacred cost. You must leave behind the old garments of lack, the dusty cloak of hesitation, the worn shoes of delay, and in their place, you clothe yourself in certainty, in courage, in expectancy. What you speak is what you wear, what you command is what you become. Florence Scovel Shinn declared, your word is your wand, and today, that wand is in your hand. What will you write upon the fabric of your life? What will you inscribe upon the scroll of destiny? The time of waiting is over. The hour of postponement has passed. This is not a tomorrow practice. It is a now initiation. I want you to feel this in the deepest chamber of your being. Wealth does not live in some distant horizon. It breathes in this present air. It beats in this very moment. And when you command it with faith, heaven bends to deliver. So let us walk through this closing ritual together. Imagine with me, you are standing before a great temple, carved not of stone, but of light. The doors are shut, tall and mighty, shimmering with gold. On the doors is written in radiant letters, the inheritance of the faithful. You have the key, and the key is a sentence. Now, speak it aloud with me. I command wealth now. I receive wealth now. I live in wealth now. As these words leave your mouth, see the doors begin to tremble. Hear the locks begin to shift. The golden hinges loosen, and slowly, the temple doors open wide. Before you flows a river endless, luminous, golden. This is the current of divine supply. It is not a trickle. It is not a portion. It is the overflowing river of your true inheritance. Step into it with your imagination. Feel the water rise to your feet, your knees, your waist. It covers you in abundance. It baptizes you into wealth. It anoints you into freedom. The river is endless, and you are part of its flow. You do not chase it. You do not beg for it. You become it. Now let us affirm again, stronger, deeper, with full authority of the soul. I command wealth now. I receive wealth now. I live in wealth now. As you speak, notice what shifts inside you. The part of you that once doubted begins to crumble. The fear that whispered, delay dissolves into silence. The shadow of lack vanishes like smoke in the wind. You are clothed in a new robe, the robe of divine certainty. You are crowned with the diadem of inheritance. You are not asking anymore. You are claiming. This is the final passage of your initiation. To live not as a seeker of wealth, but as one who already possesses it. To walk not as a beggar at the gate, but as an heir within the palace. To speak not as one waiting, but as one commanding. Wealth is not outside of you. It is the river running through you. Supply is not distant. It is the divine breath that sustains you. The law is not against you. The law is for you, faithful and exact, responding to every word spoken with conviction. Say this with me once more, and let it seal your soul. There is no delay in divine supply. It is mine now. Feel the finality of that. Not someday, not when conditions seem right, not when others approve. It is mine now. And because it is mine now, I live as though it already overflows. My steps are steady, my words are bold, my spirit is anchored in the river of divine abundance. And so, beloved soul, you walk out of this sacred teaching with more than information. You walk with initiation. You walk with a sentence that carries the creative authority of heaven. When spoken with faith, it rearranges circumstances, it breaks open gates, it calls forth provision, it awakens opportunities. Remember the rhythm of divine timing. Remember the law of non-resistance. Remember the power of the tongue. These are not abstract principles, they are the invisible pillars holding the structure of your reality, and now, you know how to align them with your word. When fear comes knocking, answer with the sentence. When delay whispers, answer with the sentence. When doubt rises, answer with the sentence. It is the key that opens every door. It is the command that silences every lie, and every time you speak it, the temple doors open again, every time you declare it. The golden river flows stronger, every time you affirm it. You step deeper into your inheritance. This is not a ritual you practice once. This is a rhythm you live by. Morning, noon, and night. In moments of joy, in moments of uncertainty, in the quiet before sleep, in the dawn before the world awakens. One sentence, spoken in faith, is enough to shape a lifetime. Do not take this lightly, for words are seeds, and this sentence is no ordinary seed. It is the divine seed that multiplies without end. Plant it in your heart, speak it upon your lips, write it in your journal, whisper it in your prayer, sing it in your silence. Let it become the drumbeat of your days, and as you do, watch the unseen become seen. Watch the river carry treasures to your door. Watch the temple of supply release what was always yours. Let us seal this together with one final declaration. Say it as though heaven listens. Say it as though the gates respond. Say it as though your life already reflects it. There is no delay in divine supply. It is mine now, and so it is, beloved soul. If these words have stirred something deep within you, then know this was not an accident. You were guided here because your spirit is ready for breakthrough. Remember, one sentence can shift everything. Speak it, claim it, live it. If this message has blessed you, I invite you to walk this journey with me. Subscribe now so you never miss these divine reminders. Share this video with someone whose heart is hungry for hope, and leave in the comments the words you are claiming today, because every written word carries power. Together, we are not just listeners. We are creators of a new reality. And as Florence Scovel Shinn declared, there is no delay in divine supply. It is mine now. Until we meet again, may your path shine with clarity, your words create abundance, and your soul rest in the certainty that all is already yours. ****